And we're going to move right in to our second speaker for the evening, which is Alissa VanDeman. The way you communicate with others is impactful. You may be misunderstood or come across the opposite way that you intend. Today, Alissa will share with us lessons that she learned during her journey in discovering her communication style. The speech is Lessons Learned About Communication. Alissa VanDeman.
I was working under a deadline. I was in the zone. Everything was clicking and coming together. Boom, boom, boom. I was going here and there, from my office to the copier, back to my office, to a coworker's office, back to my office. I was on fire. I felt electric. Once that project was completed and submitted, I slowed down, took a breath, and relaxed. A few minutes later, Carrie timidly approached me at my office. Alissa, has something upset you? No. Why do you think something's upset me? Well, you're just storming around the office and you seem really angry. Oh my goodness. My energy and my enthusiasm had come across that I was angry and pensive to those around me. I was creating an unhealthy work environment with my excitement. Have you ever been in a situation where you think you are coming across one way in your mind, but others are interpreting it completely different? Anybody? Raise the hands. Good, I'm not alone. We're all human. Well, Toastmasters and honored guests, it is important to learn your communication style and be aware of the styles of those around you. I'd like to cover 3 lessons I learned about communication. As I speak, listen and see if any of these apply to you. The first one I've already mentioned, you can say or act in one way and the person receives you in completely opposite. What do you do with that? Well, the second is knowing other person's communication style, that it's helpful. That's very helpful. That's another lesson I learned. And third, how you deliver your message matters. It's not just the words you say, but the manner in which you say them. So going through this project to write this speech, I discovered that I actually have 2 communication styles. I scored equally in both of them. The first one is initiating and the second is supportive. Can you guess the initiating communication style? It's fast-paced, it's social, it enjoys an energetic and enthusiastic work environment. Also, the initiating style responds strongly to praise and approval. Now, the supportive communication style, while it also appreciates praise and approval, it wants it to be done privately, not out in public. The supportive style is also someone who is an active listener and who anticipates others' needs and desires a relaxed work environment. That seems a little opposite of the first one, but they have similarities. Now, with the first one, how the story I told you at the beginning, I was operating in my initiating style. That day, I learned that sometimes I need to adjust how my body language is to fit the situation around me. I learned that I need to adapt. At work, I try not to come across angry unless I actually am. And at home, I know that I can clean my house with that determined high energy and I will not be seen as a rage monster. When engaged in my supportive communication style at work, I am patient. I am slow-paced. There's a story I want to tell where I was in an interdepartmental meeting. I thought I was being attentive, respectful, and empathetic listener and team player, allowing everyone else to give their opinions and have their input. However, after the meeting, my boss, Scott, he comes up to me, Alissa, Why didn't you speak up in that meeting? You knew all the answers, and I knew you knew all the answers. Why didn't you say anything? Oh my gosh, Scott saw me as being passive. So here again, my communication style was getting in the way of what my true intentions were. Now, the second point is knowing someone else's communication style is helpful. Another of my coworkers, Lily, she is a straight to the point person. She used to see me as this wishy-washy and undecisive. Well, I learned that I cannot have a brainstorming session with her. I can't bounce ideas off of her. When speaking with Lily, I need to already know what I want and how to achieve it. She is a no-nonsense person and works straight away at a task. Once I started communicating with her in this manner, respect for each other grew and communication between us became smoother. Now we work as a partnership. So this is an example of how knowing another person's communication style is helpful. My third point, or my third lesson that I learned, is that how my message is delivered actually does matter. So my son Fletcher and I, we had hit a rough patch when he was 13. Everything I said seemed to set him off. He told me I don't listen to him and you don't understand. Well, there was times I just chalked it up to him being a teenager. But when I took the time to look at myself and how I was communicating with him, I saw what he was saying. At that time, I was notoriously late. I brought that stress to him and his brothers. I'd be getting myself ready in the morning and trying to shoo the boys along. One day, I came to them in my usual rushed manner. Okay, Fletcher, time to get dressed. And I would go do something to get myself ready. And I'd come back. Okay, guys, Fletcher, you got to get your shoes on. It's time to walk out the door. Let's go. And I would go run and put my shoes on. And he lost it. He yelled at me, Mom, you do not have to tell me what to do. You can just say, Fletcher, it's 7 o'clock. I know what I need to do. And then I have 15 minutes. Oh, well, that was a revelation to me. He didn't need me to bring him my morning anxiety and stress. It was because Fletcher, my son, was becoming a responsible person that I wanted him to be. And now we get ready for school in the morning, stress-free. In conclusion, it is important to know your communication style and the style of those you communicate with. I challenge you today to discover your own communication style. You can Google it. You can Google discovering my communication style, and you may learn these 3 lessons as well. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Good evening, everyone. And Alissa, wow, that was a rapid fire speech from the very beginning to the very end. To start off, like I was, for a moment, I didn't understand like what is happening. So you literally took me to your office and showed me how busy you were when you initially started off your speech with your boss, like with everyone. You really excelled at the vocal variety and gestures whenever you are having like interactions with your boss, with your son, with your fellow co-workers. The vocal variety, the transitioning you brought at those times, like will bring back all the audience to you, no matter where they are in their own imaginations. They will be drawn towards you with the change in vocal variety and the transition during those attempts. And you spoke about extensively about the lessons that you learned. You gave very good, I can easily understand like what all lessons you learned from the communication styles, and also you went through your communication styles, how they were helpful to you, like how others pursued your style. Like now I have listened to so many stories in one speech. That is like a very power-packed speech with multiple stories. You definitely have excelled with your communication. I have never heard any filler words in that entire speech. And only one thing is that you have went over time, because I know there is so much content that you have covered, and that would have taken you a little bit over time. And your conclusion is definitely very good, because you challenged us to know our communication styles, and you also explained what mistakes that could go if we don't know our communication styles or other communication styles. So the lessons that the supporting material that you provided to know about other communication styles definitely help us, and it will also a lesson for all of us also to understand our communication styles, and also so I really liked your entire speech. I remember all the stories. I remember the mistakes or the lessons that you have learned in all your communication. So definitely looking forward to listen to other speeches. But yeah, sorry. One quick thing is, if you have given a pause, a 2 to 3 second pause, that would have like given audience some time to think and understand and remember your speech a little bit better. So those pauses would have been better. That's what I feel. But overall, awesome speech. Thank you.